You are in the jungle. I'm Matt Edwards. It is go time. 1-0 are the Cincinnati Bengals. How about them, huh? Last time they started that way, they went to the Super Bowl. Will they do it again? We'll find out in due time, but it certainly feels nice. Look, at the end of that game, you don't feel great. That was an ugly win. But as time has went on throughout the evening, I'm now watching Sunday Night Football between the Ravens and Bills. As time has gone on throughout the day, that win feels better and better. The more I think about it, the more I like it. So two things can be true at once, right? I know we live in a world where you like to have one strong, firm take and they all have to mesh together. And if you're on this side, then all your takes have to be on this side. And if you're on that side, then you have to believe all those things. No. In the NFL and in really most areas of life, two things can be true at the same time, even if they contradict a little bit. What's true is that the Bengals looked really bad at times today. The Bengals have a lot of things to clean up. They've got to be a lot better than they were today. But what's also true is it's an excellent win. Both things are true. The Bengals didn't look great. The Bengals did a great job of getting a W on the road in the division. I don't care. It's a road win in the AFC North. So there's a lot of people like, whoa. Okay, but that's a road win in the AFC North. How many times last year did we see the Bengals look awesome and lose 50-49, right? Which feeling do you like more, the ugly win or the pretty loss? I'm kind of ecstatic that the Bengals found a different way to win. They won 17-16 in Cleveland. You would have not expected that from them. That is not the way this football team has won games the last couple years. They've typically needed Joe Burrow to play hero ball. Today, they get 2 interceptions in the second half. You heard about they were working on those tip drills in training camp, as I'm sure most NFL teams do, but they pay off today. DJ Turner and Jordan Battle, 2 new starters in the secondary, getting interceptions in the second half. That's a big difference in the game. Obviously, the Browns with a new kicker, Andre Schmidt, his name's not Schmidt, Schmitz, whatever. Holy Schmidt. I'll get it figured out. It's spelled S-Z-M-Y-T, Zmit. Yeah, who gives a Smit? Anyways, hey, here we go. Look, both those things are true. Bengals got to clean a lot up. It's an awesome win. It's a road win. It's a division win. They're 1-0 in the division. They go. Joe Burrow said after the game, he said, we stole one today. Yep, good. You know who steals games all the time? The Kansas City Chiefs. You know what they do? They get the 1 or the 2 seed and go to the Super Bowl every year. It's better to be lucky than good. It's better to win ugly than lose pretty. So yeah, there's things to clean up. Tackling wasn't good. It needed to be better. Zach Taylor's game management could have been better at times. I hate punting from the opponent's 42 in a game like that, but it happened. Those timeouts, thank God they didn't need them late in the fourth quarter, because you used 2 when had you been a little more prepared, things would have been better. Those things are true. The Bengals have stuff to clean up, but it's also true that going on the road in the AFC North in week 1, going up against a veteran head coach, an established head coach, and a veteran quarterback who's been a Super Bowl MVP, guys who know how to prepare. When you've got a young, pretty unproven defense with a new defensive coordinator, you go in there, you steal a win, as Joe Burrow says. Take it all day long. Did the Bengals look awesome in some losses last year? Heck yeah, they did. It sucked. I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. Anyone would. So yeah, it didn't look like what you expected, but the result was what you wanted if you're a Bengals fan. And at the end of the day, who cares? There's no style points here. There's no playoff committee in the NFL. We're not going to get to the end of the season. They're going to say, well, remember that Bengals? No, not how it works. Not to mention, the Browns are really good on defense. Like Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, that's a hell of a top 2. I mean, those are 2 top 3 guys at their position in the league. You throw in Jim Schwartz, arguably the best defensive coordinator in the league. That's why I'm so thrilled today. I'm not worried about the offense. The offense scored 10 last year in the opener against New England and went on to be earth-shattering the rest of the year. I'm not worried about the offense. Had the Bengals won this game like 34-31, then it's like, I don't know. They won 17-16, and I know that the Browns, they weren't playing Josh Allen, they weren't playing Lamar Jackson, but even if their kicker makes the 2 kicks that he missed, the extra point and the 36-yarder, they still only score 20. Bengals are going to win a lot of games if the defense can hold people to 20. If they hold them under 20, they might win them all. There's a lot to like about what we saw from the Cincinnati Bengals today. I'm thrilled with it. The offense is going to be fine. I mean, is there anyone who thinks that Joe Burrow and company are just going to go out there and score 17 every week? No. They'll get better. They'll be fine. Browns are really good on defense. Heck no, it wasn't pretty on offense. There's actually a lot to be pretty ticked off about, but that's not what I'm worried about. I don't think there's anyone with a decent head on their shoulders sitting there right now saying, I'm concerned about what Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and company are going to do. No. They ran into a really good defense. They stole a win in Cleveland. Love it. Browns are really good on defense. So yeah, had Joe Burrow needed to go out and be the hero, it's like, man, was Al Golden really going to help much? Right now, we've only got the one game, but they held them to 16 points. You can call it 20 points if you want to, because that's what they should have had. But at any rate, 20 or fewer points, the Bengals are going to win a lot of mother stinking games. So that's where we're at. Winning ugly, good. It has to happen, by the way, in the AFC North. You've got to win ugly at times, not just in the AFC North, in the whole NFL. I mean, this isn't, we're not talking about college conferences here. Good teams, I've said this a lot. Good teams, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, good teams find ways to win when they have bad days. And the Bengals did that today. Thrilled with that. You look at kind of the stat sheet here. Like the Browns had double the first downs. The Browns had 22 first downs. The Bengals had 11. The Browns had 186 more yards than the Bengals did. The Browns held the ball for an additional 11 minutes. They won time of possession by 11 minutes. If I would have told you those three facts, Browns had double the first downs, won the time of possession battle by double digits, had 186 more yards, you wouldn't have felt good. But again, an ugly win is still a win. Take it every day of the week. I bet the Chiefs and the Cowboys would love to have an ugly win on their resume right now, right? So the Bengals do win the turnover battle the turnover battle 2-0, courtesy of those 2 interceptions in the second half. And hey man, that's what it is. You win the turnover battle, you win a lot of games. Why can't I say that? Turnover battle. I want to say batter. Turnover. It's late. I'm not used to being up this late, or I'm not used to talking this late. It's a turnover battle. My daughter and I made pancakes this morning. I got batter on the brain. And I said this too. If you listened to the show last week when I was talking about why this year would be different, like, I'm a believer in karma. I'm not like, a hippie sitting there smoking my pipe, but I believe that especially like in sports, things have a way to balance out. Kind of the way we like to put this in modern sports society is ball don't lie, right? We love to say that when a team catches a break that they shouldn't have and then fumble on the next play. Yep, ball don't lie. You see it in basketball all the time. Bad foul gets called. Guy misses his free throws. Ball don't lie. It's kind of the same here. Like the Bengals, it's time for them to catch some breaks. They didn't catch any last year. They were on the wrong side of all the breaks last year. Today in Cleveland, they were on the right side. They got the missed field goal at the end. They got the missed extra point, which, who knows how much. Obviously both teams handle the game differently going forward if he makes the extra point, so we'll never know how much of a difference that really made. But we know that 36-yarder that my guy, Andrew Schmidt, I can't remember how to say his name now. It's not Andrew, it's Andre. Andre Schmidt. He missed a 36-yarder there at the end. Who knows if he'll have a job tomorrow. I do feel bad for the guy. I hate when that, he had a face like a young guy. You feel bad. But I love him. He's cool in my book. He can be ruler of the jungle in Cincinnati any day he wants to. And it's time. It's time the Bengals caught some breaks. Last year, they didn't catch any. Those things have to balance out. Usually they do over the course of a season. Maybe the Bengals saved all theirs for this year. Let's hope so. Offense will be fine. Defense got it together late, too. Let's say that. Because, let's see, where were the Browns at when they got to... We don't want that. Let's go here. So the Browns, Cleveland, soon to be Brook Park. In the third quarter, they go down. They get the ball and come out, go 13 plays, 69 yards, take more than half the quarter off the clock. And they go up 16-14. Bengals get the ball back and go 3 and freaking out. Not cool, by the way, but right there, it's easy. It's easy if you're the defense and you weren't good last year. And everyone on that side of the ball pretty much knows you weren't good last year because they were a part of it. You go down 16-14 on the road. You know how stinky you've been early in the season. You give up a long drive. You fall into a 16-14 hole. The offense, who is so used to saving you, goes out on the field, goes 3 and out. Right there, it's easy for that defense just to shut it down, to say, here we go again, to hang their heads and go out there and stink it up and let this thing get out of control. They didn't. They go out there, they get an interception on the tip drill from Jordan Battle, who, by the way, I was banging the drum for all year last year, and he played really well today. They go get a pick. Bengals turn it into 3, take the lead back 17-16. You know what happened to the rest of the way, but they got that pick. So, yeah, the last 5 possessions there for the Bengals, or the last 5 possessions for the Browns, defense clamped down, man. Defense clamped down. On the last 5 possessions, the Bengals forced two turnovers, forced a turnover on downs, forced a punt, and, of course, there was the missed field goal. So Jordan Battle and DJ Turner both with interceptions. I mean, that says a lot, man. That says a lot for a defense that last year clearly just folded time and time again late in the second half to do the opposite. Again, I know if you want to play devil's advocate, you can sit there and say it's Joe Flacco. Well, Joe Flacco, look, the Browns offense, no one's saying they're the 07 Patriots, right? But there's still an NFL offense. Kevin Stefanski's still a really good offensive coach. He's got Ken Dorsey there with him. Jury's kind of out on him. But at any rate, I mean, how many times last year did we see that Bengals defense, when push came to shove at the end of the game, they just kind of packed it up? Happened a lot. Didn't happen today. And that's awesome. That's progress. Again, offense will be fine. I'm not worried about Joe Burrow. I'm not worried about Jamar Chase. Even the offensive line looked pretty solid. Burrow didn't get sacked in the first half. Browns started to get some push in that second half. Again, Browns are awesome up front. Browns are pretty darn good on defense. So, like I said at the top, Bengals win at 17-16. Had they won at 34-33, it's a little more concerning. But to win in different ways is impressive. And, I mean, the rookies. I mean, Demetrius Knight was all over the place. He was awesome. He had 8 solo tackles. He was just moving side to side. It seemed like he was there near the ball every time. So he fit the bill. Shamar Stewart, the first-round pick, didn't show up in the stat sheet, but he had a batted ball in the first half that gets negated because of penalty. He was just disruptive. He looked like you could tell how athletic he was. That's why the Bengals liked him so much. You could tell out there just his natural ability. You could see it all over the place. I mean, he's jumping up, swinging at balls. He looked pretty darn good. At a minimum, he's trying to create chaos. This team needs someone to create some chaos on that side of the ball. So thrilled with that. I mean, there's a lot to like. On defense, again, you don't worry about the offense. The offense will bounce back. Hopefully they can all get it on the same page. I'd hate to say this, and then they go out there next week and let Trevor Lawrence put up 400 yards. Maybe they will. I had one of my friends, Ray Rotella, text me, and he pointed out, like, you get this Bengals offense and the Browns defense together, it's probably a Super Bowl champion. And that's true. The sick irony for Bengals and Browns fans. Like, most of my best friends are Browns fans. We're texting all day. Feel bad. They're just so used to this stuff. The Andre Schmidt game. I love when you can name a game after one super obscure guy and everyone will know what you're talking about. That's him. Poor guy. I hope he gets another shot. Looked like a nice kid. Bengals had 7 yards in the second half. 7. S-E-V-E-N, 7, like Boomer Esiason. 7 yards in the second half and won the game. How? Force a couple turnovers. Create a little chaos. By the way, according to ESPN, that is the fewest yards by a winning team in the second half this century. They said in the last 25 years, it is 2025, so I think it's fair to say that. Just an awesome win. probably not an awesome win. If they, it's a win in the AFC North, and you got to be thrilled about it. It's a division win. You know, I don't want to call it an awesome win because it's like the old Louis C.K. bit, like your chicken wings were awesome. If you call this an awesome win, and then they go to, you know, Green Bay or Baltimore and win, or Buffalo and win, what do you call that? But you get the point. For the suffering that Bengals fans have done early in the season the last few years, it just feels good to go out there and, you know, not start behind the 8 ball once again. So, I mean, come on. Joe Burrow throws for 113. I mean, if you told me before the game he was going to throw for 113, I would have been very concerned that he got injured. Just a wacky win. I mean, the Bengals, T. Higgins with 33 yards as a leading receiver. Noah Fant, super involved. I think he led them in targets today. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, was it pretty? Absolutely not. It was hideous. It was hideous. But good teams win on bad days, and that's what the Bengals did on Sunday. Got to be happy with it. We'll see, you know. It's kind of like a win-win, too, because you get the win. They're 1-0, but at the same time, like, Joe Burrow clearly kind of frustrated afterward. Like, ugh. Those are a lot of the guys, especially on offense, like, I'm sure they're a little embarrassed. Like, the expectations, they spent $250 million on T and Jamar this offseason, and they combined for like 60 yards. So it's kind of if you're a fan, you know, T had 3 receptions for 33 yards, 2 big catches on third down. Jamar Chase, 2 catches, 26 yards. I mean, that's got to be on the low end for him ever. I can check that out and tell you. But, I mean, it's just like you get the win if you're the Bengals, and you also get a little chip on your shoulder heading into week 2 and heading into the rest of the season. Let's see. Jamar Chase, lowest yards in a game. So in Denver in 2021, he was held to 3. At Baltimore, he was held to 12 1 year. So this was his 4th lowest total ever. He's actually been held below 30 6 times here. He's also eclipsed like 175 6 times. So I don't have to tell you. Jamar Chase, if you haven't heard, he is good. So glad the Bengals have him. And I could totally see him like just going out and lighting up Jacksonville next week. So it's exciting, man. I mean, this is one of those ones where if they end up losing it, you know, whatever it would have been, 19-17, you feel awful. Because it's like, what are we doing here? But an ugly win's a win. Like I said earlier, had a lot of pretty losses last year. A lot of losses where you said, wow, look at all this talent. I'd rather have them have a win where you say, wow, this is, win, figure it out. Kind of like the survive and advance, except you don't get knocked out if you're out of here. All right, that's all I got for you. A quick 20-minute post-game recap. And yeah, let's see if the Buffalo Bills can do Bengals and company a little favor here. They're down 20-13 at the half. So, you know, Baltimore, baby, regular season, they're an absolute juggernaut. And then divisional round comes around and Lamar Jackson turns into, I don't know, whatever you want to call him. I don't like Lamar as he's a divisional foe, but you get it. He's awesome. He's maybe the best playmaker in my lifetime, but get to the postseason, we know how it goes. So maybe that'll be different this year. Everyone loves to think so. We'll find out. I'll have another show out sometime this week. Today's Sunday. I do, if you're still listening, I have a child due any day now. So if you see me drop off the face of the earth, that probably means my son, Jamar Chase Edwards, has made his arrival into the world. And I'll be a little busy with that. So appreciate you tuning in. Awesome to do one of these and get to talk about a win on week 1. So we'll do it again soon. If you like the show, tell a friend about it. Send them a link. Give me a rating. Give me a thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a comment. Make people mad so they comment more and more people can see it. That's actually not cool. But by the way, how are the Bengals going to tackle Derrick Henry? If they couldn't tackle whoever the Browns were throwing out there, I mean, they had Dylan Sampson, who looked pretty sharp, by the way, but he's still Dylan Sampson. They couldn't tackle him. What are you going to do against Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry might score a touchdown every time he touches the ball. So, all right, appreciate you tuning in. It's Matt Edwards in the jungle. Hoo-day in a week 1. Feels good to do it. We'll see you again real soon.